And the Trailblazers give the Golden State Warriors and a former coach a lump of coal. It's all next on News Channel 8 at noon.
From KGW, where the news comes first, this is Northwest News Channel 8 at noon.
Last-minute shoppers are jamming up shopping center parking lots. You're looking live at a picture from Sky 8 over Washington Square on this Christmas Eve afternoon. Good afternoon. On this Christmas Eve, I'm Carl Click. Brenda Braxton is off. She will be back on Monday. Most of the malls in the area will shut their doors at 6 o'clock tonight. Do the math, and you see you have less than 6 hours left to knock out that last-minute shopping. Our pilot, Dan Shively, is in Sky 8, high over Washington Square. He joins us with the latest on conditions there. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Carl. A beautiful day. Look, the fact I'm wearing sunglasses in the middle of December in Oregon has to tell you something. A great day to be out shopping, and a lot of people are. Let's take a look down right now. Kurt Austin is our photographer, and he's doing a great job looking at all those very heavily congested parking lots. We're down here at Washington Square, as you mentioned, and look at that. There's barely a place to be found. It's even a lot more crowded than it was last night and yesterday. We've been trying to find little hints to help you if you're heading out to Washington Square. Well, there is a little bit of a tip. Here's an official Sky 8 tip. Look over there in the corner, right near the J.C. Penney store. That is about the only area where you can find a parking place where you can drive right in and park there. The rest of the parking lot and the whole mall here is just jammed up. And it's pretty much that same way around the other shopping malls as well. We'll be checking out some of those a little bit later in the show. But for right now, go out and join the fun. Last-minute shopping is part of the Christmas tradition. Back to you, Carl.
And that's fun, Dan, huh?
Oh, well, it's fun if you don't have to shop.
That's true. Thank you, Dan. We'll check back in with you in Sky 8 later on in a newscast. Well, if you're looking to join the holiday procrastinators, you better hurry. Lloyd Center and Clackamas Town Center are open until 6 o'clock tonight. You shop at Washington Square and Pioneer Place until 5 o'clock, and the Vancouver Mall open today until 6. Many of our living rooms will be covered with mounds of wrapping paper tomorrow. Local agencies hope we'll think about the environment when we tidy up. Most wrapping paper is recyclable, and here's what you have to do. Remove the waxy and foil wrapping paper. It can't be recycled unless you want to save it for next year. Take off all the bows and ribbons, and again, save them for next year. And try to get off as much tape from the wrapping paper as you can. Then just put the wrapping paper in a brown paper bag, put it on the curb with the rest of your recycling. For more information and instructions on how to recycle your Christmas trees and holiday cards, just call Metro's Recycling Hotline. There it is on your screen, 503-234-3000. Couldn't ask for better weather on Christmas Eve than we're having right now. A little farther south, it was slow going today. One car left from a big multi-car accident earlier this morning near milepost 217 on I-5. And as you can see, the cause was some freezing fog. It made for some treacherous driving south of Salem. That fog stretched for about 100 miles. Holiday travelers were delayed today at the SeaTac Airport. Fog built up when a ridge of high pressure kept air trapped near the surface of the Earth. Lines grew long inside the airport while traffic piled up outside.
I'll be driving tomorrow, so 3 hours on the road, 3 hours back.
Nothing's coming in, so everybody's kind of stuck here in the fog.
An air stagnation advisory is in effect across Washington due to an inversion allowing a fog and air pollution buildup. Well, we don't have too much trouble with that right now here in the Portland area, but we have had some fog in some places. Bruce Sussman keeping an eye on that for us.
Yeah, let's talk more about that fog right now. Here's some of our fog imagery. And a matter of fact, we'll take you down to the southern part of the valley in Lynn, Lane, and Douglas counties down near Eugene. And this is that 100-mile stretch of fog you were talking about, Carl. And it's very dense, and it was right along I-5. In fact, it still exists in many places, although it's beginning to thin out a little bit. Now, we also had the fog up here near SeaTac we were just talking about. Fortunately, that was not as dense, but dense enough to delay flights and mess up holiday travel plans. For most of us, though, things are looking great. Matter of fact, we've got a beautiful shot right now from our Northwest Skycam, Sky 8. That's right, live up there. And look at this. You're looking at Mount St. Helens on the right, and off in the distance behind it, that's Mount Rainier. That is a spectacular sight. Just beautiful, crystal clear skies for most of the Willamette Valley, and for that matter, most of Oregon. Washington, though, that's a different story. 44 degrees right now, according to our Instant Weather Network in Portland, And wind's not blowing too badly in downtown Portland, but it's a different story in East County. Those of you there know about that, and if you don't, you might be surprised by how cold the wind chill is. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes with your forecast. Carl?
All right, Bruce, thank you very much. Well, you'll finally find the coast clear for your holiday travels. Road crews reopened Highway 101 near Florence yesterday. It had been closed at Devil's Elbow since a landslide covered the pavement last weekend. Workers pushed tons of debris off the edge of the cliff and down into the ocean. Once the weather cleared and the hillside stabilized, they were able to wrap up this job pretty quickly. Turns out they had a lot of company. Hundreds of sea lions gathered below to watch, apparently drawn to the silt plume from the landslide debris.
I think, you know, the fresh surroundings, I mean, the new trees to swim around and brush to play in, and you know, I don't know if the bugs in the water are attracting more fish or something, that they're coming over closer or what, but it just seems like there's a lot of them down here, a lot more than there was Saturday.
Another trouble spot on 101 near Cape Foulweather has also reopened, so no more detours on the coastal highway. The federal government is reminding everyone flying this holiday season to be especially careful because of the threat of terrorism. Canadian police have reportedly issued an arrest warrant for this man, Abdelmajid Dahouman. They think he's an associate of Ahmad Rassam, the Algerian suspected of bringing explosives into Washington last week. This new suspect is wanted on 2 charges of illegal possession of explosives. Canadian police have just arrested this man in Montreal. His name is Brahim Mahdi, and they say he's connected to the man and woman arrested Sunday in Vermont.
No.
Federal prosecutors say both of them have ties to an Algerian terrorist group, but Mahdi denies any link to that group. He says he came to Canada to escape persecution in Algeria. Those warnings aren't keeping people from flying. Airports around the country are busy today. Take a look at these lines. This is how Los Angeles International Airport looked this morning. Crowds of holiday travelers waited outside to check their bags. Things weren't much better inside. Situation is much the same in Atlanta. Long lines and lots of baggage. Some people are getting to Hartsfield so far ahead of time they have time to take a nap. In any case, a couple of security reminders. Give yourself extra time, of course, and don't carry presents on board. Don't wrap any of the presents that you carry on board. The holiday will be a sunny one for the Oregon State Beavers. For the first time in 30 years, the Beavers will be playing in a bowl game. Before they take on Hawaii in tomorrow's Oahu Bowl, the Beavers are taking in the sights. And here with that, News Channel 8's Ron Pivo.
It's just another day in paradise for the Beavers, and this day was spent at the Hawaiian Waters Adventure Park, and it included a little Hawaiian hospitality. But trying to get some big football players into some little tiny rafts can be tricky.
Okay, hold it.
You're supposed to get in the raft.
I'm working on it.
And this week in Hawaii is a reward for all the hard work these guys have put in, and they're loving every minute of it.
Oh man, you come out of the end of there, and then it's like there's nothing below you, and you're kind of like, oh man, I'm not touching anything. And then you just come down and hit it, and you're just like,
What does it feel like for 270-pound guys going down a water slide?
well, there's only one 270-pound guy. There's some that are a little bigger than that. But as we come around those corners, it's like, well, we're going to lose something. You know, we're about to fly up around this corner. Man, that's a fun ride. We're about to go do it again.
And this week may mean the most to these guys, the Hawaiian Beavs, at home in the islands and at home in front of the camera.
You ever been on one of these?
Yeah. When I went from one island to another island, we used one of these. Same with big coconut shells.
If any college football program deserves a week in Hawaii, it's Oregon State. And rest assured, they're getting wet and wacky on Waikiki Beach. All the fun and games will come to an end pretty soon for Oregon State. They are here, after all, to play in a football game. And they know that playing the University of Hawaii here in Honolulu won't be a walk in a park. Or, in this case, a walk in a water park. From Honolulu, Ron Pivo, KGW, Northwest News Channel 8.
And a tough assignment there for Ron. The Beavers play the University of Hawaii in that Oahu Bowl tomorrow. Kickoff is at 5:30. It's on another television network. Trailblazers have a long Christmas holiday, 4 days off. Blazers cream the Golden State Warriors in what looked like a new TV game show. Who wants to dunk the basketball? Rasheed Wallace was the winner, and he didn't have to use any of his lifelines either. He scored 20 points. Blazers led by 17 at halftime and then put it in autopilot for a 111-91 win. They will host Seattle on Tuesday night. NASA has another problem on its hands. It has nothing to do with the current shuttle mission, though. It's another satellite that's not responding. We'll tell you about their plans to fix that next. Also, terrorists have hijacked a plane out of India, and they're having trouble landing right now. Stay with us. This is News Channel 8 at noon.
They are pure inspiration, true believers in the magic of giving.
They are 8's holiday heroes, and I hope you'll join me for their stories.
Tonight at 6:30 on News Channel 8, where the news comes first. News Channel 8 is closed caption through a generous grant from Sleep Train Mattress Center. Sleep Train, your ticket to a better night's sleep.
NBC Friday at 8, 7 Central.
I'm your guardian angel.
This is the season to believe miracles can come true.
I want to live again. Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
It's A Wonderful Life, a holiday tradition you can't see anywhere but here. James Stewart, Donna Reed, a Christmas Eve event. It's A Wonderful Life, NBC Friday at 8, 7 Central. Who wants to win $1 million when you can win big money? 21 is coming to NBC.
I spent the last 3.5 years of my drinking and using on Skid Row. But thanks to the Salvation Army, my life has been changed.
Donate your old car, RV, or truck to the Salvation Army, and 90 cents of every dollar stays in your community, funding our rehabilitation programs.
Today, I'm an ARC graduate and recovering alcoholic with 18 months of sobriety.
Call 1-800-95-TRUCK and let your recycled goods recycle human lives.
Now, back to KGW, Northwest News, Channel 8.
A plane with 189 people on board was hijacked from India this morning, and the ordeal isn't over yet. The plane landed in Pakistan this morning after being hijacked on a flight to New Delhi. Indian authorities asked Pakistan to keep that plane from leaving, but officials there said that was impossible without endangering everyone on board. The hijackers say they've killed 4 passengers and wounded 5 more, but that has not been confirmed. Officials say the plane may now be headed for the United Arab Emirates. Russian military leaders are saying they're close to victory against Islamic rebels in Chechnya. They've bombarded the capital city for days there. You can see the smoke in the hills and in the homes where 500,000 people once lived. Polls show most Russians want the fighting in Chechnya to continue. Even this Orthodox priest who says he doesn't fire a gun, but he supports those soldiers in spirit. Russian generals are hoping that their continued bombardment will weaken the rebels before a final assault. It is another busy day in space for astronauts aboard Discovery. We'll give you live pictures now from NASA. This is the spacewalk the astronauts are on currently to repair the Hubble telescope. This is their final spacewalk. They've had 3. The astronauts successfully replaced the telescope's computer yesterday. The shuttle will return to Earth on Monday, and NASA says the telescope should be fully operational in about 2 weeks. A $1 billion satellite launched by NASA a week ago to collect global weather data has gone on the blink. The main computer on the Terra spacecraft is shut down. NASA says the mission is not at risk and that a software change will fix that problem. Terra was placed in orbit to collect data on the interaction between oceans, land, and atmospheric conditions. Christians around the world have begun celebrating their most sacred holiday. In Bethlehem, thousands of pilgrims and tourists have descended on the city to see the birthplace of Jesus Christ. A newly renovated manger square marks the holy site. Meanwhile, Muslims celebrating the holy month of Ramadan attended prayers in Bethlehem's mosque. The city's mayor praised the harmony of the 2 observances as a symbol of peace. Security throughout Bethlehem has been tightened, however, due to fears of some terrorist strikes. The Vatican is busy preparing for tonight's Christmas Eve celebrations. Tens of thousands of people will celebrate Mass with Pope John Paul in St. Peter's Square. There are giant TV screens for the overflow crowds that they expect, and a global TV hookup will broadcast the midnight Mass around the world. Can you guess how many lights there are on this building? Well, the folks who did got a great prize. We'll tell you their story next. And Bruce Sussman will join us with a forecast for last-minute shoppers and early Santa Clauses.
That's right. We've got just a few high clouds for most of us, but right now you're staring into low clouds and fog in the Columbia River Gorge. This shot from Sky 8. I'll have your travel forecast coming up.
Hurry up! You'll be late for school!
It's that time of year when sooner or later you wonder, will it or won't it?
Wait, now I hear school's closed.
School closures? News Channel 8 will tell you about them instantly. Look for the list at the bottom of your screen just like this. Or log on to KGW.com. We track all area schools and many organizations as well.
Okay, it's definitely open.
School closures. Find out first on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
Tonight at 6, they were driven by passion, and their legacy continues to shape our lives.
He loved this state, and he didn't want anybody to fiddle with it.
Northwest News Channel 8 presents the Oregonians of the Century. Join us as we count down the top 5 with rare film and photos you've never seen. The Oregonians of the Century, tonight at 6 on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
Monet, Picasso, Matisse, Chagall. These are just some of the world-famous artists whose major works of art you'll be able to see at the Portland Art Museum, November 21st through January 23rd in Monet to More, the Millennium Gift of Sara Lee Corporation. Portland is one of only 3 museums in the U.S. honored to host this spectacular collection. For more information and tickets, call 226-2811. Presented by Fred Meyer and News Channel 8.
Dear Albertsons, I've got 50 guests coming over and 0 time. Can you help?
We sure can. With Albertsons Party Trays, you can serve shrimp, cheese and deli meats, and tasty desserts, too. We've got delicious ready-made and special order trays that'll take care of all your holiday parties. And that will give you plenty of time for more important things. Albertsons Party Trays, the perfect way to enjoy the party. Albertsons, it's your store.
Wow. That is a live picture from Sky 8. Photographer Kurt Austin up with pilot Dan Shively. What a great day to be flying, and they're giving us a wonderful picture of the mountain that we don't often see in December.
And that is so incredible to think this is in our backyard, you know. And here's a live look from our Northwest Skycam at Timberline Lodge up in the Mount Hood National Forest. Lots of snow and a couple of brown spots showing up. I mean, gosh, it's been warm on the mountain, and we haven't had any snow in days. But the ski resort's up and running as we did the ski report this morning. Most, you know, a good portion of the lifts are going for the holiday weekend, which is always a biggie for folks who are wanting to ski and snowboard. So there's quite a bit of snow up there for you to enjoy. Well, I'll tell you one place there's even more snow. Look at this, Sandy Creek, New York. Have you heard of it? Well, it's on one of the Great Lakes, and they are having a Great Lake effect snow right now. Look at this guy shoveling out feet of snow. In fact, they've had almost 45 inches of snow since Wednesday. It just won't stop. It looks like later on today they'll get a break, but, you know, this might be taking a white Christmas to an extreme. Well, around here, it's just blue sky. Look at our sky show today from Newport. Absolutely gorgeous, and you can see for yourself what's going on. A few high clouds cruising in the skies above the coast. Other than that, it is clear and blue. Here's what's going on our satellite map then, and basically it's going to stay fantastic weather for us throughout the weekend. Now, the exception, of course, is the fog that we talked about, and we'll talk more about that in the next half hour about where it will be on your travels this weekend. But here's the satellite imagery showing tropical moisture from down near Hawaii, making that same trek it's been making all week up toward Alaska. Meanwhile, high clouds cruising over the northwest, with the exception of some of that fog that gets down in the valleys and gets stuck in there, particularly in northwestern Washington, where there's that stagnant air advisory. Not a whole lot of movement there. We don't have that problem in the valley because we've got east winds blowing things out for us. Here's the morning lows this morning. It was chilly. You probably, if you park outside, you probably had to scrape your windshield this morning. 30 in Portland, 25 in Salem, Eugene down to 26 degrees, even Astoria down to 35 this morning. East of the Cascades, teens and 20s. Well, Burns all the way down to 10 degrees. Now, we've warmed up considerably since that time. 46 right now at the Portland Airport, 40 in Salem. Eugene barely above the freezing mark, but the fog is lifting, and they're beginning to see clearing skies. And then east of the Cascades, still quite a few 20s. And you know what? It's not going to get a whole lot warmer than that east of the Cascades because the air over there is just really cool. Here's our forecast then for the coast today. Mostly sunny skies. Again, just a few high clouds. And the coast probably will be the warmest place to be for the third day in a row. No advisories in our marine forecast. For the Willamette Valley, mostly sunny. And again, those fog areas in the southern part of the valley beginning to clear out, although they will reform tonight. So be aware of that if you're driving tomorrow morning. Watch out for freezing fog on the roadways early on. Fog areas east for the gorge. Otherwise, sunny west and east winds 25 to 40 miles an hour. These wind speeds also apply to those of you who live very close to the mouth of the Columbia River Gorge, including much of East County. And it's been very breezy, very cold. I was over there by Mall 205 yesterday, and I mean, the wind was howling, and it was freezing all of a sudden compared to what the temperature was like when I left downtown Portland. 51 for a high in Salem today, 49 in Kelso, 60 at Tillamook and Newport. Can you believe that? This is December 24th, and the temperature's warmer now than it is a lot of times during the summer. That is just amazing. Sunny skies for the Cascades, east winds 10 to 20 miles an hour, and government camp temperatures still mild, 43 for a high. All right, central and eastern Oregon, fog areas, and some of that is dense in the Columbia Basin. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures on the cool side today, 32 for LeGrand and Pendleton. And for the Portland-Vancouver area, you probably already guessed, sunny and windy in East County. But for most of us, east winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, keeping us cool, but also keeping us clear. 48 for a high in Portland and Vancouver. And you know what? We're not going to have a white Christmas around here, just a bright Christmas.
Yeah.
So grab your shades. You don't need the snow tires this weekend.
And just change the lyrics to the song.
That's
From
right.
white to bright.
You
Thanks,
could.
Bruce. One lucky family has won a weekend getaway on Mount Hood for guessing the number of lights on this Vancouver dental office. The grand prize winners are Grant and Peggy Goebel. Their estimate on the number of lights on Dr. Steven Sorensen's office was within 350 of the true total. Now, we can't tell the actual number of lights. They won't tell us. It's a secret because Dr. Sorensen plans to hold the contest again next year. Everyone has Christmas on their minds these days, but this is also the perfect time to think about a little preventative maintenance in your garden. Here's the Northwest Gardener.
Even though it's cold, the next couple months are the most important time to do some dormant spraying on your roses, fruit trees, most deciduous plants. So watch the weather and pick a day when it's clear and still. Now, there's a couple different kinds of spray you can use. You can use microcop or a lime and sulfur spray to guard against fungus disease, or an oil spray for bugs that smothers the eggs. And you can mix both types of sprays in the same sprayer. Now, it's too rainy to spray today, but when you do spray, spray around the ground and around the base of the tree or bush. Now, make sure you cover all the branches and get into all those little nooks and crannies where some of those bug eggs may be hiding. And if you're spraying trees, you can reach the taller branches a lot better with a hose end or a trombone-type sprayer. Now's the time of year to use a good dormant spray, and if possible, try to do it 3 different times at 2 to 3 week intervals. I'm Mike Brayman. See you next time on the Northwest Gardener. Hi, I'm Mike Brayman. I'm here at our Northwest Greenhouse for houseplants. You know, all of these plants are raised in tropical climates like Hawaii and Florida. So when Fred Meyer buys them, they spend from 30 to 90 days here, slowly becoming climatized to Northwest light conditions before they go to our stores. And that means they'll do a lot better in your home. Now take a look at our big selection of quality house plants along with planters and everything else you'll need to experience the joy of indoor gardening. You'll find it at Fred Meyer.
They are pure inspiration, true believers in the magic of giving.
They are Ape's holiday heroes, and I hope you'll join me for their stories.
Tonight at 6:30 on News Channel 8, where the news comes first. For the best Blazer highlights, insights, and interviews, watch Blazer Fast Break. Game nights at 11, only on Northwest News Channel 8, your Blazer station. Sponsored by GM.
And the day wears on. Introducing new Van Ultra Dry Solid Stick. Its maximum strength, less irritating formula goes on clear, keeps you drier. Van Ultra Dry Solid Stick. Maximum protection, less irritation.
We connect optical fiber in some pretty tight places, so I'm not surprised when my bag gets a little tight. When it does, I reach for Icy Hot. It goes on icy to dull the pain, then gets hot to relax it away. So when things get tight, I call an Icy Hot.
This News Channel 8 update brought to you by ODS Health Plans. ODS, we're here to help.
Chronic fatigue and Gulf War syndrome have had doctors stumped for years. Now they're learning the same kind of thing might be responsible for both kinds of illnesses. Lucky Severson has more on how doctors are zeroing in on a bacteria for your health.
Sophie Wilkinson spent a lot of money and lots of years trying to find out why she always felt exhausted.
I spent thousands of dollars on medical tests, and I had doctors tell me that I was healthy as could be when I was sitting in their office feeling miserable.
6 months ago, Sophie learned she had chronic fatigue syndrome. Suddenly, even the simplest everyday tasks are physically draining.
Just as some people have to budget their money and lay out in advance what they're going to spend it on, I have to figure out where I'm going to spend my energy.
There are no laboratory tests for patients like Sophie, but symptoms like exhaustion, joint aches, and memory and concentration problems are common to several chronic diseases. The key to the aches, pains, and diseases may be a bacterium so tiny that can't be detected by using a standard laboratory microscope. Doctors say they grow on mucousy surfaces in the body, like the mouth and nose. They're called mycoplasma. They may look primitive, but these slow-growing microorganisms resist treatment with antibiotics.
They don't really go on and kill you like a cancer does, but the bad news is they are like a torture. It sticks with you.
Sophie Wilkinson says she can't really tell if her medication is working, but she's finding some relief for her chronic fatigue with relaxation techniques and exercise.
I don't think there are very many effective treatments.
Well, for more on signs and symptoms of these kinds of illnesses, you can go online, find us at KGW.com, click on News Links, and look for the Health Surfing Report. Still have some shopping to do? We're going to have a traffic report for you. Traffic around the area's shopping malls from Sky 8 coming up next. And video games, of course, are big this time of year, but there are new kids interested now, girls and, well, some adult kids. A look at some choices for them next. And a look at the holiday movie releases. There are some big names hitting the screens this weekend.
Here's this weekend's children's programming on News Channel 8. Saturday morning at 10 is City Guys and Inside Stuff. At 3 is Bill Nye, followed by Hang Time. Then Sunday afternoon is Savor the Bell at 3, then One World.
You've seen commercials showing how fast Tarnex removes tarnish from a spoon. Now, we're introducing better than ever, safer than ever Tarnex that cleans your entire sterling silver or silver plate dinnerware all at once and instantly. Just place them in Tarnex, remove, thoroughly wash, and dry. Reformulated Tarnex works instantly on the most intricately designed sterling, silver plate and gold platters, trays and dishes. It works just as fast on copper pots and pans. Wonderful for silver rings, bracelets, buckles, and earrings. And it's guaranteed to be the fastest and easiest sterling, silver plate, gold, platinum, and copper cleaner you've ever used, or return to place of purchase for a full refund.
Tarnex is available at Fred Meyer, Rite Aid, High School Pharmacy, Safeway, Bi-Mart, Kmart, Ace, Thriftway, Target, True Value, Century Markets, and Walgreens.
Throughout the Northwest and around the clock, no one covers the news that affects your life like Northwest Cable News and Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
Underage drinking is on the rise, so please talk to your kids. Alcohol is the most frequently abused drug by Oregon high school seniors.
And alcohol-related car crashes are the #1 killer of Oregon teenagers.
Young people wouldn't be able to drink if they didn't get alcohol from an adult. So be part of the solution. Talk to your kids and be a good role model during the holidays and throughout the year.
A reminder from Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first. Weekdays at 4 on Northwest News Channel 8.
Welcome back to News Channel 8 at noon. This is another nice day in downtown Portland. Right now we have 44 degrees. Now that ticking sound you hear is the clock counting down how much time you have left to finish your holiday shopping, and the malls are crowded. News Channel 8's pilot Dan Shively is in Sky 8. Now he's over Clackamas Town Center. Dan, how's that look?
Oh, Carl, I'm just having a great time flying around in this beautiful weather and also having a great time thinking that I've got all my Christmas shopping done. Let's pop outside and take a look down at Clackamas. Very similar situation to what we found over at Washington Square. Very heavy traffic, no place to park nearby, but if you're willing to walk a little bit, and it's a great day to be out walking, just go to the periphery. If you go out in the little corners of the parking lot, you're going to find all kinds of spaces available, and you can get right in. See that? See out there in the corners there? Lots of places available, but you're just going to have to walk a little bit. But in the long run, I think you're going to be better off because you won't be having all those frustrations of driving up and down those lines, waiting, those parking lot lines, waiting for people to get in and get out. Also, very heavy traffic right now on 82nd Avenue around the mall area, actually within several blocks up and down from the mall, so it's going to be a little bit slow going in through there. But once you get into the mall, find those parking places on the edge of the parking lot, you'll get right in and enjoy all that fun shopping. Back to you, Carl.
Now, Dan, can you imagine what that's going to look like at 6 o'clock when the mall closes?
Well, I can hardly wait, and we'll be back here to show you.
Okay. Thanks, Dan, and thanks, photographer Kurt Austin for us. Well, if you're looking to join the holiday procrastinators, better hurry up. Lloyd Center and Clackamas Town Center, they close today at 6 o'clock. You can shop at Washington Square and Pioneer Place until 5, and in Vancouver Mall stays open this evening until 6 o'clock. You have even less time to get your presents in the mail. You may be totally out of time, actually. The post office says you can still get packages to Seattle for delivery on Christmas morning, even if you mail them today, but you're going to have to use their overnight service. And if you're trying to get something across the country, well, it's not going to be there by Christmas, of course. The post office says on Monday it handled 4,800 packages through their university station alone. Millions of families will be unwrapping new video games tomorrow morning, but they're not just for boys anymore. As Andrew Glassman reports, girls and even adults are getting into the action.
By the time all the presents are unwrapped, another 4 million U.S. homes will be playing video games. And for Sega in particular, 1999 has been a dream year. The company was all but banished from the gaming market until their Dreamcast system was released in September. Now Dreamcast is on track to sell 1.6 million units this year. Stores like this Best Buy in Los Angeles are sold out. Sega is back in the game.
With thousands of games available, a lot of consumers are being brought into the industry anew, and I think that benefits everybody, but I think it's fair to say that we've really invigorated the marketplace by taking video gaming to the next level.
Interest in the $199 Dreamcast forced Sony and Nintendo to lower the costs of their PlayStation and Nintendo 64 gaming systems to $99 apiece. That lower price tag, combined with more people in the stores checking out the Dreamcast, woke Sony and Nintendo up from what had been a marginal year.
For the first, 3 quarters of the year, their sales for the console system were pretty flat. But since the price drop heading into the holiday season, PlayStation sales are up about 50% over September.
It's a projected high score for the year that looks like this. In 1998, gaming hardware and software accounted for $6.2 billion in sales. This year, the total is expected to be in the $7.2 to $7.5 billion range, roughly the same amount of entertainment dollars spent on movie tickets for the year. It's not just teenage boys glued to the screens. Pokemon appealed to young kids. The graphic-rich sports games appeal to 30-somethings and adults. and more women seem to be playing along.
We're looking at boys and girls as young as 8 to 10 years of age, and grown men, quite frankly, that are in their 30s. So there is an incredible broadening. This is no longer a niche marketplace. This is very much part of mainstream America.
And industry experts estimate that after all the presents are opened, 1 out of every 3 U.S. homes will have a video game system. We're especially lucky with our sunny weather today. Fog is blanketing the northwest to our south and to the north. This one car is left from a big multi-car accident earlier this morning near milepost 217 on Interstate 5. And as you can see, the cause was some freezing fog. It made for some treacherous driving south of Salem, and that fog stretched about 100 miles south. Lots of delays reported at SeaTac Airport this morning while the travelers waited out thick fog there. Lines grew long inside the airport while the traffic piled up outside. The fog is blamed on a ridge of high pressure that is trapping air near the surface of the Earth. That inversion led to an air stagnation advisory across Washington. Travelers are advised to check with their airlines for any schedule changes. Well, that fog causing some problems, not for us in the Portland area, but other places. Let's chat with Bruce now.
Yeah, that's right. I know a lot of people taking to the road, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Here's what's going on the traveler's forecast for the Northwest. All mountain passes will be dry through the weekend, so that's great news for traveling. The possible trouble is fog areas in Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, and California. You get the idea, all over the West, and in some cases that fog is freezing. Now we'll move on to our fog imagery right now, and you can see the area of the fog this morning down in Lynn, Lane, and Douglas counties. Fortunately, in the Northern Valley, it's been beautiful today. Outside, a live look from Sky 8 right now. I love this shot of Mount Hood right in our backyard. Crystal clear skies here on December 24th. Now I'm coming back in a few minutes with your forecast. 44 degrees right now in Portland, and things will warm up a little bit from there. Carl, I'll be back with the details.
Okay, thank you, Bruce, very much. Well, Matt Damon is a villain. Cameron Diaz owns a football team. Tim Allen explores space while Jim Carrey stretches to play a wacky comedian. That's what we'll find in this week's new movie releases. Here's Anna Hovind.
Did you ever conceive of going to Italy? I'd pay you to persuade my son to come home.
Matt Damon is the talented Mr. Ripley. He must convince Jude Law to leave his girlfriend Gwyneth Paltrow and return home. He discovers he likes his new Playboy lifestyle and may do anything to keep it, including murder.
I always thought it would be better to be a fake somebody than a real nobody.
I don't believe a single word you said.
You're shivering, Marge. Can I hold you?
The talented Mr. Ripley was directed by Anthony Minghella and is rated R.
I've sweated blood for these men, given up my wife, my children for these men. I've given up everything I have for these men. Game is all that matters to me, because it's pure, it's safe. Life isn't.
Al Pacino is the head coach of a pro football team in Any Given Sunday. He finds that there's much more to coaching than just calling the plays.
He may sell a lot of T-shirts, this kid, but he's tearing this team apart.
Well, then you hold it together.
Knock it off.
Why the hell do you think my father put me in charge, a bullheaded moron? You got old.
Any Given Sunday is directed by Oliver Stone and is rated R.
And this is for my mother. And this is for my father. And this is for my grandfather.
I hope you have a small family.
Jim Carrey is comedian Andy Kaufman in Man on the Moon.
Thank you very much.
No one was ever sure just what Kaufman would do next.
You're insane.
But you might also be brilliant.
Man on the Moon was directed by Milos Forman and is rated R. 20 years ago, Tim Allen was the commander of the TV show Galaxy Quest. When some real aliens see the reruns, they believe the cast to be real heroes.
We are actors, not astronauts.
You will save us.
Galaxy Quest is rated PG.
They look like little children. Hi, little guy.
With Now Showing, I'm Anna Hovind.
Well, some more shopping ideas for you next. These probably won't help you this year because the store's on the East Coast, but they do have a website, and they have some really cool stuff we're going to show you. And if our gasoline supply is fine, why are we getting warnings from the feds about the new year? That's next as well. And today on Oprah, Remembering Your Spirit, a look at some of the best ways to find beauty and inspiration in your life. That's today at 4 o'clock here on News Channel 8.
The seasons march on. That's why people who depend on the weather depend on News Channel 8's First Alert Storm Team. Backed by the power of live Doppler 8000, Joe Sotilli and Matt Sofino lead the Northwest's largest, most experienced team of forecasters. The First Alert Storm Team, only on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
Hurry up! You'll be late for school!
It's that time of year when sooner or later you wonder, will it or won't it?
Wait, now I hear school's closed.
School closures? News Channel 8 will tell you about them instantly. Look for the list at the bottom of your screen just like this. Or log on to KGW.com. We track all area schools and many organizations as well.
Okay, it's definitely open.
School closures. Find out first on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
There are few things more important in life than your health. Now, Northwest News Channel 8 has just the prescription. First, a healthy dose of medical breakthroughs. Add the latest information on food and fitness. Plus, vital consumer alerts. Make an appointment for your health. Weeknights at 5 on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first. It's just what the doctor ordered.
This News Channel 8 segment brought to you by the Bob Lamphere Auto Group. 'Twas the season when sales ran amok. Not an auto was selling, not even a truck. Santa told Bob to move 'em out. Every new and used car and truck at Bob Lamphere's Beaverton Infinity will have a low, low sale price tag in the window. Dealer discounts combined with generous trade-in values could save you thousands. It's the season to save.
Just by Bob at Beaverton Infinity on Canyon Road in downtown Beaverton.
Half is okay for Y2K. That's the word from Washington, D.C., where federal experts are asking us not to run out and fill up our gas tanks. The Department of Energy and AAA say you don't need to worry about stations having enough gasoline because of the Y2K bug. On the other hand, we could see shortages if everyone starts filling up their tank on New Year's Eve just to be safe. Okay, if you're still trying to figure out what to buy for Christmas, you're probably out of luck and out of time, but we thought we'd give you a head start on next year. Gary Nuremberg shows us how to find treasures at one of this country's cultural gems.
Holiday shoppers at Washington Smithsonian Museum of Natural History have some unusual choices to chew on: a grape lollipop with a cricket inside, or an edible insect in the center of candy tree resin.
It appeals to everybody. The kids love it. They go ooh and ah over the insects inside.
Shoppers come looking for something unusual.
It's almost like its own little museum by itself.
And how about a Chilean rain stick?
They're made from the cactus stick, dried from a dead cactus. And what you do is you just slightly tilt them, and you get the rain effect.
The museum is home to one of the most famous gems in the world, the Hope Diamond, worth so many millions it is essentially priceless. But if you can't afford that little trinket for someone's Christmas stocking, the museum shop offers this alternative, a replica, for $70.
It writes underwater. It writes in any kind of upside-down gravity, any type of paper.
At the Air and Space Museum, you can buy pens like the astronauts use in space. You can buy moon soup, but customers really seem to like this.
Yeah, they do, to the tune of over 100,000 packages a year. You're currently looking at our #1 selling item in terms of unit, freeze-dried ice cream.
Smithsonian officials say shop, catalog, and internet sales totaled $71 million for the institution last year. And although these shoppers may be looking for holiday gifts, it's not the busiest time of the year. That's the summer, when Washington's tourist season peaks.
And for a closer look at some of these unusual gifts, head online to KGW.com, click on News Links, and look for Smithsonian Gifts. Speaking of gifts, one of the hardest to come by this season comes from a popular kids movie. That's next. And
we can take our regular favorites and make them holiday favorites. It's just a simple garnish that does it. Simple.
NBC Friday at 8, 7 Central.
I'm your guardian angel.
This is the season to believe miracles can come true.
I want to live again. Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
It's a Wonderful Life, a holiday tradition you can't see anywhere but here. James Stewart, Donna Reed, a Christmas Eve event. It's a Wonderful Life, NBC Friday at 8, 7 Central. Who wants to win $1 million when you can win big money? 21 is coming to NBC.
My new iMac helps me stay in touch with my granddaughter. I can send her an email message anytime, and she can read it and respond at her leisure. When I was ready to buy a computer, she took me to the computer store, the premier Apple specialist in the Northwest. My salesperson never tired of my questions. He made choosing the right computer easy. So easy I could have done it on my own. But I won't tell her. This is my computer store.
When you're ready for a change, check out the 2000 Alero by Oldsmobile. Now you can lease the Alero GX with zero due at lease signing. Tax, title, license, and registration are extra. And get great offers on other Oldsmobile models. Residency restrictions apply.